Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we're going to be reading into any of the energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week ahead. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back to everyone who joins me for these Monday weekly readings. It's lovely to have you guys back. You guys are so encouraging and lovely, and I enjoy reading for you guys each week. Also, I want to say a huge thank you and welcome to everyone who's new, as we've just hit over 100 subscribers and I'm still over the moon about it. So thank you for everyone who's just recently come in and subscribed. It's lovely to have you here as well. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I do these weekly readings every single Monday, as well as timeless and other types of magical readings as well. I also just put up a monthly reading for September, or if this is in the future past September, I'm sure there's another monthly reading up as well that you can check out. But if you are not already subscribed, consider subscribing and joining this community. It'd be lovely to have you guys here. Just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified of each of these readings and that you don't miss out. As today is going to be a very special reading because some of you might have already known because I mentioned it on my Instagram recently, and my grandma recently passed, and so I wanted to do a reading that was very much inspired by who she was and who she is, and so that's why I've chosen such interesting piles with all these fun colors, because she was such a child at heart. And so I used, this is one of her little pendants, and it's a beautiful unicorn to go with our unicorn deck here. She also was really into rings, so I'm wearing some of her rings here today as well to bring some of her into this reading as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this fun theme to sort of honor her and enjoy some of the things that she enjoyed. And I wasn't even sure if I'd be filming this because I wasn't sure if I was going to feel ready or up to it, but honestly I feel very much so that I want to give back to all those that have been sending in such beautiful and kind messages to me and supporting me through some of the, difficult times that has come because of this. So anyway, before I go into all of that, let's go ahead and look at each of these 3 different piles. I also want to mention the reason why we are using crayons is because I'm using the crystal unicorn deck this time around, this crystal unicorn deck, because it has, I won't show you the images because I don't want to spoil what's in your reading, but you'll see them in your reading. The imagery in this is very coloring book-like, and she was huge into coloring books and that sort of meditative practice that coloring is, as she was such a child at heart. So that's why I've decided to use the different crayons and the different, the different kind of fun, magical, and very gentle deck. This deck is very gentle and has beautiful imagery that is very childlike. So I wanted to emanate a little bit of her energy here for you guys today. So for group 1, we have here 3 different colors. So they look like this, but their names are turquoise blue, sea green, and shamrock. So if you're feeling sort of this blue-green set, then that would be pile 1. So I'll just set those back down here. They're probably going to roll around a little bit. And then here for pile 2, you have the colors of laser lemon, dandelion, and mango tango. So I tried to choose ones that had really fun color names, so maybe some of those would resonate for you. But that is pile number 2. And pile number 3, you have the choices to resonate with violet red, magenta, and my personal favorite growing up, purple mountain majesty. So those are the different colors for pile 3. So I will go ahead and let us take a deep breath together so you can make a better decision on which pile is resonating with you and you can figure out which one to go for here. So let's go ahead and take that deep breath together. Feel free to choose whichever pile is resonating with you. You can choose 1, 2 piles, 3 piles, whatever works for you. You can go to a pile, decide it's maybe not the right one for you, and change your mind. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can choose by color, by feeling, or by intuition, whatever works for you. If you've already figured out which pile is for you, though, you can use the chapter marks within the video or go down into the description and there will be a link or a little timestamp there for you to find your pile. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoy this reading and enjoy the fun, creative, and gentle messages of this deck and honoring my grandma. So with all of that said, we'll go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Hello, Group 1. If you've decided to choose sea green, shamrock, and turquoise blue, then these are the crayons and pile for you. I will set them down on this because I don't want them to draw all over the table. So I'll just set them down right there for you. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, the secret garden deck, the language of flowers deck, and as mentioned, we'll be using this wonderful and gentle deck of the crystal unicorn. So let's go ahead and look into your week, Group 1. All right, so what messages do we need to know about Group 1's week? All right, yours have already come out. I'm pretty sure all at once here. You have all 3 of your messages. So here we have the Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Chariot. What an interesting combination to have both the Page and the Queen. So let's go ahead and look at your next message with your oracle decks here. So Group 1, we're looking for any information, insights, energy, or guidance for Group 1's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 1, the week ahead for Group 1. Any energy, insights, or guidance. All right. Here you guys have persevere. Leave no stone unturned, and then there's a little balancing rack of stones right there, or stack of stones rather. So persevere. All right, your next message here with the language of flowers. Let's see what you have coming in. Group 1, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance for Group 1's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 1. I feel like there's something in my throat. So sorry if I sound strange. Group 1, we're looking for any information for Group 1. All right. Here you guys have, if I can pick it up, Tiger Lily, security, choose the safe harbor for now. So it's not forever, but there is a security element there for your week. So we'll get your last message here, and we'll be coming back to the charms later into the reading. So Group 1, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance for Group 1's week ahead. All right, you guys have a few of them here. So we'll pick up these. So the first one you have here is you already know the answer. So you might already have, if you're looking for an answer this week or something that you've been waiting for or something that you feel like your intuition already knows, then you probably already know the answer and you've just not been following your gut. So that's one of the messages. You also have don't waste a today with a tomorrow. So this has to do with taking advantage of everything that you can today versus feeling like, stuck or like, oh, I can't have today. I have to get to tomorrow. There's stuff to do next week. I have all this stuff. And it's just like you're not really living in the moment. And then you have here, laughter is the best medicine. So this is, again, more to do with those mindful moments, those times of laughter and calm and all of those sorts of things. So that's already lovely as well for your week. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is this Chariot card. So the Chariot represents needing to make a decision, right? It's usually a decision so that you can move forward, you can go on a new direction or set, sail towards a new direction, something you're wanting to head towards, but you aren't really sure which way to go. You're sort of looking at the pros and cons and checking every single, list and everything, and you're trying to make sure it's a secure and perfect decision, right? Especially even with persevere, leave no stone unturned. So I feel like you've been maybe looking over a decision, or you might have a decision that comes, or a decisive sort of feeling that comes up this week with something. But the most important thing is you already know the answer. So if you listen to your intuition this week, especially since you have both the Page and the Queen of Cups, which have very intuitive qualities to them, being part of the water element, it's definitely time to let that intuition flow in and have that sort of tap into that gut reaction and just make a decision, because you already know what you want and where you're ready to go to. So I definitely feel like there's that. And then persevere as well, it kind of talks into that. Like if you feel like this decision that you're trying to make or something you're wanting to go towards hasn't always worked, maybe you haven't felt super secure in it, or not really sure where you're going, especially since there's like sort of, again, every time I see a page and a queen or a king together, I feel like there's a mentoring aspect, or an aspect of the week where you feel maybe like you're still learning, you're still at like a naive or younger or innocent phase, and you're heading towards this queen, you're heading towards, a new phase. But to get there, you have to head in a new direction, especially since the Page of Cups is looking away, like they're not sure where to go. And then if you look here, you've got like this unicorn pointing towards the Queen of Cups. So I feel like there's sort of like, just in general, a conversation happening here of maybe you're not ready yet. But once you make that decision, you make that step, that's when you get to evolve, like almost like a Pokemon character, I swear. Like you're evolving from the Page of Cups to the Queen of Cups. You're gaining knowledge and gaining even more intuitive sense here, because the Queen of Cups has a huge sense of her intuition. She's very good with her emotional side, especially since she's like a water element. So she's also very giving, very loving, very nurturing and kind. She's really good with her emotions. So there's definitely an emotional aspect to your week. So this could be a romantic or platonic, more relationship or emotional tie or bond here that you're trying to make a decision on. So it could be, like I said, a relationship, but it could also be like even with yourself, motivating or moving yourself in a new direction, emotionally. Because you also have, don't waste a today with a tomorrow, and laughter is the best medicine, which are both really like important messages of being here now. Choose the safe harbor for now. So I just feel like, again, it's like just urging you to take it easier this week. The decision will come to you. Let it come through your intuition. And laughter is the best medicine. So if you need to, maybe take like a moment to watch a comedy, or even a romantic comedy, because that can help like get our emotions sort of flowing. So there might just be sort of a message here of you already know the answer, but you just need to tap into it. Take that time, be sort of mindful. You might even be able to tap into it with a bit of meditation or grounding yourself in a more watery element. So if you can get to the sea or to the ocean, to a lake, to a river, or even possibly like a bath or a shower, these are like great places to like let your intuition even flow in further, because like everybody has those shower thoughts, right? Where your brain just sort of wanders. So this week might be the time to just like take that meditative and mindful moment to help you make these decisions. Because the Page of Cups is still very young, still naive, still figuring things out, very innocent. And they also have, like here with the Page of Cups, there's this little fish in the corner of their cup that's like showcasing that when the Page of Cups comes up, this can be talking about you creating a new relationship even. So you might be meeting a new friend, a new romantic relationship could be blooming or beginning. And when you make these decisions possibly on it, it could evolve as well. But it also feels like a very personal transformation, one that doesn't necessarily have to involve anyone else, because you're evolving for yourself. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms group 1, because you guys have a very like straightforward week. It has more to do with those decision making aspects and just figuring out your direction. So maybe we'll get some more information with the charms to help you even further with these decisions. So group one, we're looking for any information, insight, guidance, or messages for group one's week ahead, the week ahead for group one. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what you have here. I'm going to pick up, as always, the ones that are upside down and not resonating. And then we will go from there. See what's going on for your week group one. I almost said group two because I was looking at this group two. You have quite a few in your center here. So we will see. Interesting already. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can get a better look at all the charms here on the mat and make sense of more of it. Again, there's no charms down here except for the one I just bumped. So there's no charms down here, so you're not missing out on anything. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about here is that you had the intuition charm or the amethyst charm pop up. So this makes me think of amethyst, which has to do with tapping in with your intuitive and even sort of psychic magical side. So if you work with anything like divination or other things like that, also, then that'd be a great place to look into as well. Again, there is a love element. You have not only this hippie heart, but you have this one in the center of your week, which is the love card, the love charm. So it says love here and there's a rose. So someone you might be pursuing this week, or, dating or doing anything like that with them this week. And it also can be familial love or friends, family, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be romantic, but it even could be towards yourself, like I mentioned. So whichever one is resonating with you could really help you towards this decision that you're making. You also have here the dime, and this is a plastic dime. So this represents maybe not having the best finances this week. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't really have a lot going on there, but it just might mean that you're not getting like that extra bonus, or there just might be, a little bit less in the bank. So if you feel like you want to be making big decisions with money this week, it's kind of urging you to keep it secure, keep it safe, seeing as you had also the Tiger Lily security card here. So, take the time that you need and slow down on really big purchases, because it's really not the time. You also have this one, I think, of family, because it's like a pearl, but it also represents clarity and treasure as well. So things to treasure, especially with having those mindful moments, and don't waste it today with a tomorrow. This can represent, grateful moments, those treasured moments in the everyday. So definitely be looking out for those this week, because you're probably going to have a lot of lovely ones. You also have where you again are evolving. So this is a giraffe charm. So giraffes are very tall creatures and very tall animals, and they can reach new heights very easily above everyone else. So you're evolving, you're reaching a new height this week. You also have here the leaf in your center. So this is a very long feather, a very long feather. So this represents communication, because it represents the air element, the feather does. It also, birds can travel very far, so they communicate very far with messages. So you might be having some messages come in from people who are very far, distant, relatives, or people you don't talk to as much, long distance relationships even. So look out for those as well this week, because they might be coming in. And lastly, in your center, you have this charm, and it is, it's got like sort of been bent right here. So it's almost like taking off your crown. So because there's a crown there. So I feel like this represents taking off your crown, taking off, like, if you ever feel like somebody's like on their high horse, they're trying to be, grander than everyone else, higher than now, or whatever that, I can't come up with the exact phrase, but you're like higher than everyone else. So if you feel like you've been possibly trying to be the leader or someone a little bit higher up or something like that. It might be the week to let other people sort of fill in for you or even communicate with them. Just make sure to check in that everything feels good, because you have that crown sort of flying off. So if you're worried about a leadership position or something like that, then it might be the time to check in, communicate, make sure things are okay there. You also have 2 different chakra charms here. So this represents balancing your chakras or even just aligning or working with these chakras this week. So you have the crown chakra, which is at the top of your head, as well as the sacral chakra here, which is just below your belly button. So let's go ahead and grab those specific cards out for you so we can get some more messages with this Chakra Love deck. Alright, so I have both the crown and the sacral chakra here, so I will do each of them real quick to get what your message is for the week. This is if you work with chakras. If you don't work with chakras, feel free to check in on them or learn a little bit more about them for your week, especially since you have 2 of them popping up. I feel like this has to do with balancing them or realigning there. So for your crown chakra here, you have calmness. Like I said, I feel like you needed to sort of drop down a peg, take some time to yourself maybe, and let other people take over, because you have the crown chakra, rainbow moonstone. So if you work with any sorts of stones or crystals to help align, rainbow moonstone is one to look out for this week. But it says calmness. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. So don't keep feeding this like next day, and not enjoying the present moment sort of feeling. So we were already sort of getting that message for your week, so that's definitely aligning for you. So let's see what your sacral chakra message is here. Group 1. We're looking for Group 1's sacral chakra message. What do they need to align or work with this week for their sacral chakra? Sometimes I feel like it works better this way. All right, so I ended up pulling out 2 for you here. So you have creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth, and it's fire agate. So that looks a bit like this. And then you also have here passion. Turn your fear of change into excitement for change. So if you're fearing this decision that you need to make, maybe using tiger's eye this week could be really helpful for you, or aligning the passion and the excitement for creation. There was a quote I was reading not too long ago that is talking about, instead of, turn your fear for where you're wanting to go, this new path, and turn it into excitement, which is easier said than done. But if you calm yourself down, that can help bring that intuition in, because I feel like you've been blocking it with everyday tasks to the point that you aren't able to just calm yourself down, take that meditative moment so you can really align with your true passions and create that future that you're wanting. Because doing tasks every day is going to get you there, yes, but you're not going to have that passion anymore if you just keep rolling with the punches and not letting yourself have time to really think and align yourself. You also have the grounding charm, so this represents grounding yourself down in something, especially with how emotional this week might be, and the both the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Grounding yourself could be really helpful. So grounding, using any type of grounding technique could be really helpful. You can look those up. Some of my favorites are to ground by literally putting my feet in the dirt, and grounding with the earth. But you can also ground with lovely music, or with various crystals, or even looking through different memories and grounding yourself in one of those, things like that. So lastly, real quick, I'm going to just talk about these ones. You have the hippie heart right next to the binder clip. So that's giving me sort of you're binding yourself down to, going with the flow, because the hippie heart is all about hippies sort of being more grounded down, or less grounded down, sort of flowing with what happens. And because you had both the Queen and Page, I'm already feeling that for you, sort of binding yourself down to the letting your emotions flow sort of feeling. You have the this, I think of it like as like a crab or a crustacean, or it's just like not a kind of disgust charm. That's what I think of it, because I don't personally like this charm, like the actual charm itself. So I always feel like when I see it, I'm like, ooh, I don't really like that charm. So you might have something, there's nothing really around it that just might make you feel a little like, ugh. This week it could be something simple like food that you eat, or something that just doesn't agree with you. So maybe look out for that on diet, or just in general. You also have here the 2, so again with the love and then passion even, and then just like all these connective sort of communicative charms. You have 2 here, which represents partnership, or a pair or something like that. So again, more love messages there, right next to the envy heart. So this represents jealousy or envy. So again, if you feel like you're a leader or you want to be one and you're trying to get there, maybe you've been feeling jealous or envious of something that someone has, and I feel like you're wanting to erase that. You're trying to get away from that. So here you have the eraser right next to that charm. So I feel like you're either trying to create a friendship there, especially since you had the Page of Cups, and, making amends, or, putting some of that jealousy aside so you can sort of evolve. But there is something there. You also have the star charm here, and this star represents like self-care. My mom's walking across the floor right now, so if you hear her footsteps, that's her. But this charm represents self-care, taking time for yourself, again, more meditative moments. And then lastly here, if you are into exercise or anything like that, this is like a little weight, but this can also represent like a weight on your chest, or there's just been a weight that you've been holding on to, which makes sense that you're kind of trying to erase some of that weight that you might have on a relationship possibly too, or a partnership there. So this can be business, friends, family, or romantic, like I mentioned before. All right, so with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and do your recap real quick here. Group 1. So again, the biggest message is to take time to be calm this week. Secure calmness, to calm your monkey mind. Do not feed the animal. So it's definitely the time to be calm, to have those secure moments come in, finding a new security for yourself possibly. Creation, the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. So that even can be mentioning too, to just like, if you need to let something happen, like either letting go of a leadership role, or letting this big decision happen, it's going to cause a rebirth, where you moving and evolving towards something new. You have persevere, so don't feel like you can't make it through the week. You will be able to. Don't waste a tomorrow with today. Laughter is the best medicine, and you already know the answer. So all of those are talking on your intuition, like we mentioned before, and then also just taking that mindful moment. You also have here passion, turn your fear of change into excitement for change. That actually is sort of like that quote I was talking about earlier. I don't think I ever actually noticed that, but just turn that fear into excitement. Then you have the Queen and the Page, so there might be someone new coming into your life this week, but also I just mostly feel like when you make a decision this week, that's when you're going to be able to have this evolving higher self moment happen, and it's going to be lovely for your emotions and lovely for yourself. So with all of that said, group 1, I hope you've had a wonderful time here with me today. If you did, be sure to like the video. It really does help the channel and lets me know that you enjoyed this video. I also want to mention to let me know down below in a comment if you enjoyed this, or if it resonated with any of the charms or the cards. I truly would love to know. It's one of my favorite parts of doing these videos. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, I do these Monday readings every single Monday, as well, or these weekly readings every single Monday rather, and do other fun magical content as well, and other readings. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. So with all of that said, thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose Laser Lemon, Dandelion, and Mango Tango, then these are the crayons and the pile for you. I'm going to set them down on this little cushiony rug thing that I have, because I don't want them riding all over this table. But today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, the secret garden deck in the language of flowers, and as mentioned before, for my grandma, we're going to be using the crystal unicorn tarot, and it is a very gentle, very loving deck. So let's go ahead and see what messages you have coming in for your week, group 2. All right, so group two, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 2's week ahead. The week ahead for group 2, any energy, insights, or guidance. All right, so here you have judgment. This one kept hitting me, so I felt like I needed to take it out. See what else you have coming in for your week, group 2. So group 2, you also have here temperance. And your last message here for your tarot cards, group 2, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 2's week ahead, and strength. Wow, 3 major arcana cards. So you have judgment, temperance, and strength. So if you're not familiar with tarot, there are major arcana cards and minor arcana cards. And the minors are the wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. But here you have only the major arcana, which are all this just means that you might have a more intense week, not necessarily intense in a bad way, but just a week that is got a lot more going on, a lot more life lessons or bigger impactful moments, like the big picture items. So let's go ahead and see what you have going on for your oracle messages here. So group 2, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance for group 2's week ahead. The week ahead for group 2, the week ahead for group 2. Ooh, there it is. All right, here you have discover. Look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. And there's little dewdrops here to be discovered on these little leaves. So this is all about discovery and discovering bits about yourself or bits about things around you. Can even be a mindful sort of sense. So let's see your next message here. Group 2, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance for group 2's week ahead. I don't know why I said 2 so weird. Group 2's week ahead. All right, there we are. You have here sunflower, which honestly for me sunflowers represent positivity, but they also do represent assertiveness. Rise up and stand stronger and true, because sunflowers grow so tall. So not only are they optimistic, but they are also very tall and they rise to the occasion. So you have not only discovery and judgment, strength and temperance, but you also have this assertiveness to go along. So let's see your last message before we do the charms here later on in the reading. So group 2, we're looking for any energy for group 2's week ahead. So the one you got here is let go of all you can't control, right? That's always a difficult message for most people. If you can't control something, that means it's difficult, right? It's not something we want to be hearing or something we want to be dealing with, but it's something you can't control. So you're just going to have to let it go, let it go back to the flow, especially with this temperance here. As temperance is all about the flow, right? She's got these 2 cups, so it's all about putting things back into balance. It's a huge card about balance and, centering yourself, grounding down, letting things happen as they do. Temperance is very much in balance, in equilibrium, in control of their situation, even though the river is flowing, even though they can't choose which direction the river flows or which way it's going to go or how fast or, all of these things, they're still able to stand strong and tall and assertive in this space. So even though you might not be able to control a situation right now, you're still able to control how you react to this situation and how you balance and ground yourself within the situation. So if you can be able to let go of that, you're going to be able to, let this river just flow through you and have the strength in mind to deal with that. So you also have here strength, right? So strength, you have the message of not only the tiger's eye, which represents security over here, since this is the crystal unicorn deck, you have tiger's eye here, but it represents being able to tame the lion here, but it also represents being able to use that strength as well as an asset. So it's like you're not able to have such high leadership or high strength, or that strength that can actually be, cause harm, but you're able to balance that down and, tame the lion as well, tame the strength within you, use the strength when needed. So you have both strength and temperance here, both giving that sort of equilibrium feel to it, that letting go of control, but yet still having the assertiveness to stand up for yourself and discover your potential. So you also have here judgment, and judgment is a card of an awakening of sorts. So you have this angel here, this angel unicorn, and they're blowing the trumpet and like alerting all of these people who've been asleep, and not really letting their potential flow out of them, they've been sort of sleeping on it, waiting things out, but you're getting to discover a new part of yourself, possibly within this strength or through the discoveries that you make, but you're discovering parts of yourself, you're awakening parts of yourself. So you might be learning a new hobby, a new skill. This also can be very religious or spiritual in nature, so you might be waking up or awakening to something like that. But you definitely have sort of a discovery element to yourself or to things around you. You're discovering bits about yourself that maybe you didn't know before. Maybe you can gain strength from that, and even maybe some balance and some like peace of mind that comes with that. And not only that, but you have two cards these are the only two cards within tarot that have angels within them. So you have not only one card with an angel in it, but two, so that could be significant to you as well. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and look at your charms here, because most of your messages are really just, you've got strength. They have more to do less with like specific situations and more that you'll be having this awakening, you'll have the strength in which to endure it, and that you're mostly, I'm feeling like a lot of like let go of that control, and that you've got this, right? You have the strength to withstand the river, but also be able to stand within it, and stand stronger and taller than before. So let's go ahead and look at your charms so we can get more information on your week, group 2. So group 2, we're looking for information on group 2's week ahead. Any energy, insights, or guidance for group 2's week ahead. All right, so I gave you guys quite a few here, so let me just clean up here for a moment so we can look at all of these charms with a better look here, because you guys have quite a few messages. I always pick up the ones that fall upside down or not on the mat, especially when there are so many of them. But we will get a better look at everything that's going on. Oh, this one actually was the right direction. I just didn't notice, so I put that one back down here. Alright, so there might be a hidden message within these here for your week, so I'm going to leave them in there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can get a little bit better a look at the messages here as a whole. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is your inner ring. So these are the most important or most prevalent messages to your week here. So you have, first off, you have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is all about a new emotional beginning. So this can represent a new relationship, platonic or otherwise, in a more romantic sense, possibly. that you might just, getting to know someone possibly as well this week. There's also a sense of just overflowing emotions, like your cup is just full to the point that it's like overflowing over the brim of the cup. So this can talk about just having high emotions this week, highs or lows, but there's definitely a roller coaster of emotions possibly happening this week. You also have here, hidden within this one, is once in a blue moon. So this is the blue moon charms. This represents things that happen once in a blue moon, which, just in case it's relevant, even though this is about your week, the blue moon this year happens on the 31st of October in the northern hemisphere. I'm not sure what that is in the southern hemisphere, but it is once in a blue moon. So that's when that blue moon happens this specific year of 2020, in case you happen to be watching this at that time in the future. But you also have here this represents more of your root chakra as a charm, and then you have 4, which represents security, but you have it as like the 4 of wands here because this 4 is orange. So the 4 of wands represents a big celebration, right? So it represents a big celebration like family outings or weddings or birthday parties or really big life events, big life celebrations that happen once in a blue moon, and you're going to feel secure and excited about this, maybe even being overflowing with emotions possibly for that this week. So you might be getting an invitation to something, or maybe something is happening around you that is really affecting your week in some way. You also have here the root chakra. So I'll pull you a root chakra card in just a moment, but it did fall just before the new moon, which is all about new beginnings. But you have it just before then. So let's go ahead and pull you a chakra love card real quickly. Alright, so here are all the root chakra ones. Let's go ahead and pull you one to see what your message is. If you don't work with chakras, the root chakra is at the base of your spine and represents usually your security or your groundedness. So let's see what message comes in there. You might need realignment or balancing this week within that specific chakra. So the root chakra for group 2, group 2's root chakra. Alright, here you have... Oh my goodness, you have strength. So you have root chakra, smoky quartz. So if you work with any sort of crystals, smoky quartz is one to work with this week, or quartz in general could be helpful. But you have strength. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being, to the security within you, to maybe even creating that fresh new start. Letting go of that control can bring you a lot of strength, right? So you have strength 2 times this week. So definitely prevalent if you feel like maybe the celebration can be causing, because sometimes celebrations, just because they are big, don't mean that they don't bring up a lot of emotion that could be positive or negative, but you have the strength to endure this because you have it coming up in 2 different ways, and so that's definitely prevalent for your week. You also have a little kind of moment happening here where it says Haya. So this represents someone trying to get a hold of you or trying to get a message out to you, trying to say hello in some way. And you have that next to the more like religious figure. I think of this as like a deity or a, gods, goddesses, anything like that, like any religious figure or spirit that you might commune with or talk to or work with in some way. You might be getting some sort of message there or a sign, but I also see it happening right here, which is more in like an earthly sense, so like just someone that you see every day possibly, and that might be your mother or your father, because you have here honor thy mother and honor thy father. So that could be a message for one of you as well. Trying to get it to focus here for you guys. You can see it. So yeah, there's a little family, and then it says honor thy mother and thy father. So there might be something happening there, especially since you have the black heart, which represents something that could be very sad or something that could be, more difficult. But this also can represent like a relationship or an ex or something like that might be getting a hold of you. So there's a couple of different messages here for each of you, and it's almost trying to cater to each of you. So it could be an ex, which maybe has to do with the maybe like 4 of wands here. But you also have like a religious figure, and then mother and father. And then you have the black and white charm, but this represents things getting a little bit more mixed, which makes sense too, because not only does temperance represent balance and equilibrium, but it also represents a mixing of sorts. So you might be mixing two things, or trying to mend or meld two things together, you know? You're trying to make, like, you know, a mixing pot and mix things together. So you might be mixing things up this week, maybe in your communication with these types of people. There also is a sense of intuition here this week near the full moon, so that could be prevalent to some of you, especially if the full moon is near, as well as right after the full moon at the waning gibbous. Sorry guys, I swear there was a cricket just outside my door and it freaked me out because it just like banged on my door. But anyway, near the waning gibbous moon, you have this snowflake. So this can represent weather patterns changing or cold weather, but it also can represent, you know, just slowing down on something around that. So this does represent just before the release moon. So this represents releasing something that you've been holding onto for a long time, something that's been, you know, you're sort of melting away from your life. So that could be prevalent to some of you as well. You also have the self-love charm right next to the 3, and then the sort of sad or emotional heart. So there could be something that you're trying to, mend or heal from, especially since temperance is also a very healing card. And then you have the 3 here, which makes me think that you need others around you to surround you and help you within this, that whatever it is that you're trying to mend and heal from here. You also have the candle charm. I know it doesn't look like a candle, so again, with the big celebrations, this could be a birthday, but it also can represent igniting something. So what you might be igniting is a cleansing, something you're trying to bolt yourself down. This can represent persistence, being persistent in something. You also have it next to the 6, which represents harmony, things that are in balance, because the 6 is a even number, so it's also representing in balance. And then you have the washer charm, so this can represent you being a little wishy-washy, so you might be that cricket just scared me again. You might be trying to be persistent about cleaning your house or cleansing in some way of something, maybe even using candles if you work with magic, but also if you just feel like you've been wishy-washy or not making a decision on something, I feel like you're going to be persistent enough this week to ignite that decision within you. And lastly, in this little corner here, you have the letter H. So this can represent a name, a business, a place, anything that could be relevant for you. You also have the cycles charm, but this charm represents cycles or things that we've been continually doing, habits within our lives. But you might be breaking a habit this week, or trying to break a habit or break the cycle that might be happening, especially since you have the senior charm. So this represents something that happened in the past, and so you might be trying to break a cycle that happened within the past or something like that. You also have traditions, so you might be breaking a tradition or being a little rebellious in that, so this represents traditions, as well as just being merry. And then you have the creativity charm, so you might just be breaking a habit about something that, especially with H, it's making me think of habits that might be very traditional to some people, but you're getting a little creativity going on here. So you're not just going to follow what you've always done. You might just be trying something out this week that's a little new to you. You're breaking a habit possibly as well in doing so. So you're getting creative with that. All right, so I believe that is all we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a recap for your week, group 2 here. You guys have an interesting week in terms of the charms. The charms definitely gave us more than just the cards were, because the charms are definitely giving me an element of something that may have emotionally impacted you this week, that maybe has to do with this 4 of Wands situation, this once in a blue moon celebration, that might be just bringing up a lot of memories or a lot of people that you don't normally talk to, because you have the Haya charm, so it could be a religious thing, but it also can be to do with your mother or father, And then you have the X charm as well, or the more sad heart here. So then you have your healing, you're trying to create balance and all of that kind of stuff. H is also very important. The cards that you got most prevalent this week were strength. So again, strength comes from the connection to the root of your being, which all is to just really grounding and rooting yourself down. So I would recommend doing some grounding techniques this week. Definitely look into them because they could be really helpful for your week. You also have new discoveries coming in because you have judgment. So this is being awakened to new discoveries about yourself, about other people. You're discovering something that's really exciting about yourself. You're being awakened. And then you have temperance, which represents balance, being able to withstand that river, being able to have that equilibrium within your life, which this charm was speaking on as well, which I didn't mention fell on the action moon of the first quarter moon. So again, that's putting action to this. So you are creating a new meditative, calming, but persistent space, assertive space. So again, with Sunflower, there is positivity. You are standing stronger through these experiences this week. There might be a lot happening. It seems very chaotic, but there's a lot you're probably not going to be able to control. But I do believe you have the strength to endure it, to stand stronger, to stand taller than you were before by having the experiences that you have this week. So, with all of that said, I truly do hope you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know by giving this video a like. It lets me know, again, that you enjoyed this video, but it also does truly help the channel grow, and it's a great way to support, a great way to freely support this channel. Also, if you'd like to drop a comment down below, I would totally appreciate it. I love hearing what you guys have to say about the charms or about the different cards or anything else that was resonating for you for this specific reading. I'd love to know. Love that conversation that we create. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, again, welcome and thank you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please be sure to check out my other videos. I do these weekly readings every single Monday, as well as timeless and other magical creative content. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can join this community, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on each of these readings. So with all of that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm wishing you a great one with everything that you have going on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello Group 3, if you've decided to choose the colors of Violet Red, Magenta, and Purple Mountain Majesty, then these are the crayons and colors for you as well as your pile. So I'm going to go ahead and set them on this little cloth here because I don't want them rolling away and creating a bunch of scribbles on the table. But today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as the oracle decks of the Secret Garden and the Language of Flowers. And as mentioned, I will be using this for my grandma. She would have loved this deck, and it is the Crystal Unicorn deck. So let's see what gentle and lovely messages you have coming in for your week, Group 3. All right, so Group 3, we're looking for any information, insights, or guidance for Group 3's week ahead. Any week ahead messages for Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead. Group 3, Group 3, Group 3. Group 3. Messages do you have coming in, Group 3? Week ahead messages. Group 3. Alright, so you have the Six of Wands here, representing a victory and leadership. See what else you have coming in for your week, Group 3. Group 3. We're looking for any messages for Group 3. Alright, so I'm going to take the bottom message here, and you have the Fool. And we'll keep going. So last message for Group 3's week ahead. Alright, there it is. you have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Fool. All right, so let's see what your other messages are, because you already have an interesting combination here. So group three, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance here for group 3. Here you have forgiveness. A crushed flower still gives off a sweet scent. And then there's this little flower here that still gives off the sweet scent. So forgiveness. We could all do with some forgiveness every once in a while, right? So let's see your next message here. So group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, or insights on group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for group 3. Group 3. Here you have red rose, courage, be brave, be strong, believe, which I'm already feeling that with the Fool. And then just like being strong enough to forgive someone, it takes a lot of strength to do that. So let's see what your next message is here real quickly. Before we do your charms later on. Group 3, we're looking for any weekly messages for group 3. Okay. So you have here, you have inhale courage, exhale fear. So again, more courage. You have courage twice here now. So there might be something that you felt like you didn't have the ability to do this week, or you felt like, oh, I can't do that. I can't forgive someone. I don't feel like I have the strength for that, or the courage or the bravery to do that. But you are strong enough. You just have to believe you can. I know forgiveness is not easy, forgiving yourself or forgiving another person or letting someone forgive you, especially if you don't forgive yourself for a situation you might be holding yourself back from. So inhale courage, exhale fear. That can even be a mantra for you this week. You also have here the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles represents holding tightly to possessions, materialistic items, things that are very close to you on a materialistic level. So this represents money, business matters, things like that, maybe hoarding ideas even. So you're just hoarding things, you're holding on to things, you're being very frugal. So this can be because you're being very smart with your money right now, which might be very important for you. But if you feel like you have the money to spend, and you just feel like you're sort of hoarding it back or holding it back, this might be just urging you to sometimes have the courage to let yourself have that this week, because that's okay. Sometimes it's good to give a little to yourself if you have the means. You also have the Six of Wands here at the center, and the Six of Wands represents, see it as like a community of people who follow you. It can be like advocacy or, really looking out for someone and really rooting for them, but it also can represent victory. So if you feel like there's like any games that you're going to for like sports or anything like that, or there's some sort of competitive nature to something that you're trying to win within, or you're trying to even advocate for in advocacy, then there might be a win for you this week. There might be something that you're going to win, triumph for. There's an achievement that will be met. So that's really, really exciting. I'd love to know what that is down in the comments if you are willing to share. You also have the Fool, and the Fool is the very, very beginning of the tarot deck and this entire Fool's journey. So the Fool's journey, you have the Fool. They are naive, they are young, they are innocent, they don't know where they're going yet, they are just trying their best. And this specific Fool, normally there is a dog that is barking, right, that's trying to get your attention, because it's like, this Fool's ready to just jump off this cliff. They believe in themselves so much, and they are so young, and so like just gonna race into it without, like little kids do. They don't always know what's wrong for them or what could hurt them or harm them. And normally there is a warning there. but you have this cat and they seem pretty pleasant and they're like, yo, you got this. So you have that inhaling courage, that forgiveness to just believe in yourself so much, especially with be brave, be strong, believe. I feel like you just need to open yourself up to this leap of faith, possibly for this victory, for forgiveness, or just leaping into the unknown with maybe a new exciting financial something that you'd like to take on. So definitely let this Fool energy come in. It may seem foolish, it may seem young, it may seem like, why would I do that? This can be something really simple too. It doesn't have to be like literally jumping off a cliff, obviously, but it can be like starting a new job, starting something new creatively, going to that salsa dancing class that you thought you never could do, being a beginner in something as well. The Fool urges you to be a beginner, to believe in yourself enough to just try and fail and just have the courage to get up and try again, because failure is where you learn, and it's not really a failure if you learn from it, right? So definitely forgive yourself for if you're messing up or if you just feel like things aren't going perfectly, because perfect isn't achievable. So just let it happen, because you have the courage and strength there to really just endure any of this week. So let's go ahead and look at your charms group 3, because I'm really interested to know what else is coming in, get some more information on your week. All right, so Group 3, we're looking for any information, insights, or guidance coming in on Group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 3, the week ahead for Group 3. Okay, so there are a couple of them that fell off of the board, so I'm going to pick up those. And as always, I pick up the ones that fall upside down first, as they aren't as relevant to the reading, but we can get a little bit more information here on your week. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can get a better look at what's going on this week and see the charms in all their beautiful glory. And yeah, so let's talk about what's in your inner cycle or inner ring here. So you have the new moon, and the new moon represents new beginnings, new growth, a new cycle of life, a new cycle within 30 days. So it's not something that you have to get super attached to, but it does give you time to plan. So if you work with moon energy, new moon energy is a great one to work with this specific week, as the new moon is all about that fresh new start, starting something new, being that Fool in this journey, being at the very beginning of something and having that excitement and courage to take on something new. You also have peace of mind this week, so this represents creating a peace of mind for yourself, creating peace for yourself, a peaceful place, a space in which you can feel very calm and chill in. So that's definitely something to look into, especially with the new moon being about cleansing. So you might be cleansing or cleaning up your space this week. You also have the bolt, and this represents bolting yourself down, anchoring yourself down, finding a way to really, because bolts are just like they're on there. Once you put it down, it's there. So there is sort of like a bolt, calming yourself, grounding yourself down kind of moment happening here. You also have here the self-love charm in the fact of it's being temporary energy. So this represents like holding on to self-love this week, really letting yourself have those small moments, maybe even bolting them down through self-care. And that self-care can be cleansing your space to create that peace of mind like I was talking about before. You also have here, as the last charm, is the heart locket. So this represents, keys to your heart, locking yourself within the love. There's memories within these. These are like very ornate lockets, right? So you put something in there, you lock away that love. So this can represent like a lost love if you feel like you have, something you kind of missed out on. But this also can just be like looking back at lovely memories about those that you love that can create that peace of mind for you. You also have the little celebrations charm, which happens right here after the first quarter moon, but before the full moon. which is the waxing gibbous moon. And this represents refinement. It's a refining moon. But you have the little celebrations. So if you are planning a celebration or planning something this week to celebrate someone, either a birthday, a baby shower, anything that you would have to plan yourself, a wedding, anything like that. These can even be really small celebrations too, because this is the smaller of the celebrations. So something like a birthday or a night out or something really chill. You might just be refining the details on that this week so you can celebrate. You also have near the last quarter moon, which represents releasing something, or not even just release, but it also can represent like that forgiveness side of yourself. So like I was talking about before, I feel like you guys might be a little stubborn, and you're not really letting yourself grow. You're kind of holding yourself back from leaping off of this and having that forgiveness that comes in too, of just starting something new and maybe messing up and just being brave enough to be bad at something new, but trying it out anyway, because here you have the creativity charm right on the release moon. So I feel like you're releasing that fear that everything has to be perfect, especially if it is like a new hobby or something that you're trying to start up. With this Fool energy, just let yourself be a really bad beginner and just make those mistakes so that you can learn from them, because the people who make those mistakes in the beginning learn more and actually can gain more experience and knowledge than those who do it perfect the whole way around. They don't have that like street smart, common sense and experiential knowledge that you will be gaining. You also have here the tiger's eyes. This represents security and creativity, and you have that right next to the N charm. So this can represent a name, a place, something really close to you, something that you can, resonate with, that has to do with the letter N, and you have it right next to the financial chain. So this represents maybe feeling chained down by something financial, especially since you have the Four of Pentacles here, right? So I felt like you might be holding yourself back from letting yourself not only purchase something new or try something new creatively, but you also just might not be allowing yourself like a new position in a job, or allowing yourself to try something new in your job or your workplace, or something to do with your finances. There's just something there that you're going to be getting more creative with and forgiving yourself to make those mistakes and just try it out. Because as I said, I felt like you might be being a little stubborn, and I personally am a Taurus, so I know that I can sometimes be a bit stubborn or a little like, I ground myself down in my ideas. So you might be a Taurus, or you might be emanating Taurus energy this week, and there might be someone around you also that might have to do with this letter N, or might have to do with just your workplace or people around you this week that are a Taurus themselves in their sun, moon, or rising sign. But also Tauruses are very trustworthy, so that's something else to think about this week. You also have the leaf charm, so this represents turning a new leaf. So you're turning the leaf, you're changing a season, you're changing yourself, you're starting a new cycle. I really see that. You're just creating like this new place for yourself, a new creative space, you're just really at the beginning of something, and you have to let yourself have it, Maybe you're not forgiving yourself because of something that happened and it's not letting you move on, but this is your chance this week. If you have the courage to forgive yourself or forgive someone around you, you're turning a new leaf, possibly with a Taurus. But also, was given to me by one of my friends as a charm, and this represents a change in your style, a change in your personality, just letting yourself evolve. We don't have to be the same person always and forever. We change and evolve and grow and get to be new people and try on new clothes and try on a new style. So you're turning a new leaf also in a physical sense as well. So there's definitely like a creative element, a change, exhaling that fear, because you have the new direction charm here with the what's this called? The Knight. It took me a moment, but this is the Knight. So this Knight is in, like, from chess. And this Knight is able to move not only one forward and two to the side, or two forward and one to the side, but they're able to basically sidestep a situation, take a different direction that people don't normally take, right? So you might be feeling like you need to take the logical direction, because here you have the logic key, so it represents being logical about a situation. But it also is showcasing here with the Ace of Cups, which is like an overfilling of your cup, overfilling of your emotions. So this is really big emotions, or emotional highs or lows. So you might be feeling a little influenced by not only your emotions, but also your mental. So you're going to have to find that balance there, that peace of mind, before you can make that decision or make that new move for yourself. And lastly, here in this little corner, you have the independence or freedom charm. I think of this as a bird. You're able to fly away, create a new nest, go on new adventures. You're not holding yourself back. And so you're able to fly and communicate those new ideas, because birds also represent being able to communicate, right? Because they are very chatty. Birds are gossipy, chatty. They talk all the time. They make those decisions, and they're able to fly as a group together. So you might, again, you're turning a new leaf, creating this new cycle. You're maybe looking at these old memories, this older space, but you're able to move forward with a lot of love for yourself and excitement for new, financial gains. But you also have here, right next to the independence bird, the ladybug. And the ladybug represents, lady luck. It represents having luck on your side. Those little signs as well represent signs. So there might be signs coming in from birds or from insects of some sort for you, but it also can represent just feeling very lucky. Lucky enough to make this new exciting leap, because the fool isn't able to do this on their own, right? They're not able to just jump off without any thought. They have to believe in themselves enough to just know that they're going to be okay, that things are going to work out. If things don't, then they know that they have the strength and the courage and bravery within themselves to just keep moving, keep on swimming, keep on rolling with those punches and moving themselves forward. And I think you guys have that, but you just have to forgive yourself for something maybe that's happened in the past, either in love, because this can even be like jumping into something to have to do with love, or forgiving yourself for something that's happened in the past, possibly financially or emotionally. You also had, as I'm doing this little recap here, you also had the red rose, so courage, be brave, be strong, and believe. Again, more to do with believing in yourself, but the red rose also has that ornate feeling to it, so again, more memories. And lastly here you have, I hadn't really talked much on the Six of Wands here. So the Six of Wands has more to do with those celebrations, right? Refining those, figuring out where you're going to go. But also if you make this leap, if you move yourself forward from this, you've been holding on so tight to your financial gains, and you're like, oh, no, I'm safe here, I'm good here. But I think you're moving to leaping and trying something new. It doesn't have to be big like I was talking about, but you're trying something new and you're seeing how it's going to work out, and you're going to have that victory come in for yourself. And the other thing about the Six of Wands too is other people follow you, as you can see, because of your passion, because of your love for this new thing, because of your creativity, and you're willing to just try. People are going to believe in you as well as you keep going and you let that passion fuel each of you in this community that you're growing. So this is a wonderful week. It's going to be a week of, freeing yourself, turning that new leaf, trying something new, giving yourself that peace of mind, because you may have been too stubborn and you've been holding yourself back. But if you inhale that courage and exhale that fear, you're going to have so much coming in for you. And I'm really, really excited. So with all of that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week. If you enjoyed this reading, please be sure to like this video. It really does help the channel and lets me know that you enjoyed this reading and these types of readings. So please be sure to like the video, and to those who have already, I appreciate it so much. Also, if you want to connect more, please be sure to go ahead and set a comment down or write a comment down below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on these charms, on this leap of faith, where you might be going. I love having this conversation with each of you, or having a conversation in general. You can chat down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And lastly, if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed, or I hope you enjoyed this reading. And I do these weekly readings every single Monday, as well as timeless and monthly readings. So please be sure to check out the September reading or the other monthly reading that might be out right now for you whenever you watch this. And that way you don't miss out. But also, if you are new, please be sure to subscribe so you can join this community. I'd love to have you guys here. And so also be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on each of these weekly readings. So I think I've said everything that I normally like to say. I appreciate everyone who subscribed, liked, and commented so far. I appreciate it so much. And I look forward to having that conversation and chat with you guys down in the comments. So before I ramble anymore, thank you so much for watching, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week. See you guys in the next one. Bye!